Please don't forget subscribe to the channel and hit the bell to get notified of new daily videos.
My dream, the Gilded Spatula, was more than just a custom bakery. It was a testament to years of late nights, burnt sugar, and endless passion. My partner, Alex, handled the intricate designs and production, while I managed the client relations, ingredient sourcing, and overall operations. We specialized in bespoke celebration cakes and delicate pastries, building a reputation for unique flavors and artistic presentation. Things were finally taking off, and we were even eyeing a small commercial kitchen space. Then came the citywide health and safety initiative. It wasn't a lockdown, but a strict, temporary ordinance requiring all home-based and small commercial food businesses to pause in-person customer visits for documented, intensified sanitation upgrades and inspections. Off-site deliveries, however, were explicitly allowed under specific hygiene protocols. We meticulously followed every guideline, posted clear updates on our social media, and shifted entirely to a contactless delivery model, even investing in new insulated containers. Our clients were understanding, and business, though adapted, remained steady. That's when Eleanor Vance, owner of the colossal sugar and spice chain, made her move. She had always been disdainful of smaller, artisanal shops like ours, often making snide remarks at industry events about cottage industries lacking real scale. One morning, I woke up to a chilling message from a municipal health inspector. Someone had reported the Gilded Spatula for operating an unsanctioned, unhygienic in-person pickup location and using unapproved decorative elements, directly violating the new initiative. My blood ran cold. The inspector grilled me, even threatening a temporary closure. I provided every piece of documentation, every photo of our sanitized setup, every delivery manifest. It was a terrifying ordeal, made worse by the insinuation that I was deliberately flouting regulations. The inspector eventually cleared us, but not without a stern warning and an air of suspicion. I knew, deep in my gut, it was Eleanor. A few days later, a veiled message popped up in our bakery's inbox from an anonymous account. Some bakeries think they can cheat the system with their rustic charm. Hope the health department straightened out your little operation. The passive aggression and thinly veiled superiority screamed Eleanor. She wanted us shut down, plain and simple, because she couldn't stand the competition or our growing reputation. The malicious intent was unmistakable, and the thought of her trying to dismantle my life's work fueled a cold, burning fury. I refused to let her get away with it. I had worked too hard, sacrificed too much. If Eleanor thought she could play dirty, I could play dirtier, and with absolute precision. My plan was to use her own hubris and rule-bending against her. I knew sugar and spice was too large to just shut down, but I also knew large operations often had hidden vulnerabilities, especially when run by someone as arrogant as Eleanor. I started by observing. Sugar and Spice had social media posts advertising exclusive pop-up deals and special pickup windows for new lines of products, even during the citywide health and safety initiative. This immediately raised a red flag. While the main Sugar and Spice stores were adhering to the no in-person customer rule, these pop-ups implied direct customer interaction. My idea was to get her to admit to her rule-breaking, capture the evidence, and submit it directly to the very authorities she had sixed on me. I created a fake corporate persona. Olivia Sterling, a procurement manager for a fictional high-end event planning firm, Sterling Event Solutions. My goal was to feign interest in a massive corporate order that would require a visit to her supposed primary, compliant kitchen, but strategically pivot to her pop-up operations. I sent Eleanor a professional email from my Olivia Sterling account, praising Sugar and Spice's reputation and expressing interest in a multi-thousand-dollar contract for an upcoming gala series. Predictably, Eleanor bit. She was eager to secure such a lucrative deal. Our email exchange moved to phone calls. I explained that due to the sensitive nature of our clients, we needed to ensure our partners upheld the highest health and safety standards, especially with the current citywide initiative. I hinted that other suppliers were struggling to meet our strict requirements, a veiled compliment that puffed her ego. "Of course, Olivia," Eleanor purred over the phone. Sugar and Spice operates with absolute integrity. Our main kitchens are impeccable. That's wonderful to hear, Eleanor, I replied. But I've noticed mentions of pop-up events and special pickups on your social media, even with the current initiative. How do those fit into your compliance model? There was a slight pause. Ah, yes, those, she said, a hint of defensiveness in her tone. Those are satellite operations. Smaller, temporary kitchens we set up for specific, limited orders, entirely separate from our main facilities, of course. Very convenient for certain client pickups. Convenient indeed, I pressed. And these satellite kitchens, are they fully licensed and inspected by the city health department, especially under the current initiative? We require full transparency for our due diligence. Eleanor hesitated. Well, they're more agile, less formal. They allow us to meet demand quickly. For a large client like Sterling, we'd ensure your order comes from our main, fully inspected facility naturally. This was it. Her agile, less formal kitchens were a blatant loophole, likely unlicensed or operating outside permitted parameters, allowing her to skirt the no-in-person customer rule. I needed proof. I understand, I said. But for full due diligence, our legal team would require documentation for all facilities involved in any of our contracts, especially if agile operations are part of your business model. Could I perhaps visit one of these satellite locations, just to understand the logistical flow, for future large orders? To my astonishment, fueled by the prospect of a massive contract, she agreed. She provided an address for a temporary tasting kitchen where I could meet her to discuss the contract and see our agile operations firsthand. The address was a nondescript commercial unit in an industrial park, far from her known main bakery locations. The day of the meeting, I arrived armed with my phone, discreetly recording our conversation and taking photos. The kitchen was makeshift, clearly not up to the standards of a licensed commercial facility, let alone one operating under a special health initiative. There were stacks of unlabeled ingredients, a single hand-washing sink, and several clients actively picking up orders right from the counter, directly violating the no-in-person customer visits rule of the initiative. Eleanor proudly explained how these agile units allowed her to bypass some of the red tape of her main stores. She even showed me a special discount product that I recognized as being made with an ingredient temporarily restricted by the health initiative. I maintained my professional demeanor, asking detailed questions, getting her to explain her system. I nodded, smiled, and internally I was celebrating. I had everything I needed. Her admissions, visual proof of an unlicensed operation, and direct evidence of in-person customer interactions during the initiative, plus the use of a restricted ingredient. I compiled all the evidence, screenshots of her social media posts, our recorded conversation snippets, time-stamped photos of the satellite kitchen, and the in-person pickups and the specific address. I crafted an anonymous, but highly detailed, report to the city's health department and business licensing division, attaching everything. A week later, the silence from Eleanor was deafening. Her pop-up deal posts vanished from social media. Then came the news, not from Eleanor directly, but from industry whispers and local news snippets. Sugar and Spice had been hit with unprecedented fines, tens of thousands of dollars, for operating unlicensed food facilities and multiple health code violations related to agile operations and ingredient sourcing during the citywide health and safety initiative. The satellite kitchen was immediately shut down, and the entire Sugar and Spice chain was placed under intense regulatory scrutiny. Several large corporate contracts, including the fictional one from Sterling Event Solutions, were reportedly pulled or put on hold. Eleanor's pristine, carefully curated public image was shattered. The Sugar and Spice brand, once synonymous with reliability, was now tainted. Her social media was flooded with angry comments from customers whose orders were canceled and from suppliers demanding clarification. I even saw a local article quoting an unnamed health official lamenting large businesses trying to exploit loopholes at the expense of public health. The satisfaction was immense, a deep, resonant hum of justice. She had tried to poison my well, to destroy my livelihood out of spite and arrogance. Instead, she had poisoned her own, facing financial ruin, severe damage to her brand, and the public humiliation of having her hypocrisy exposed. The Gilded Spatula continued to thrive, our reputation for integrity only strengthened. Eleanor Vance learned a very expensive lesson about trying to crush a smaller, honest competitor. She thought she could intimidate and eliminate the competition through underhanded tactics, but all she did was expose her own rot. Turns out, some sugar and spice just isn't nice at all.
If you enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up button to like it. And please do subscribe to support the channel.